Given the rapid spread of the coronavirus and the fact that it specifically targets the lung, I've made this fairly short video presentation on some Qigong practices we can do to strengthen the function of the lung. So it's divided into three parts. Part one is slow lower abdominal breathing. Part two is some movements we can do to open and strengthen the lung. And part three is some massage of the lung meridian and massage of the chest. So the aim in part one, the aim of lower abdominal breathing, as its name implies, is to take the breath down as far as we can. So if we adopt a shoulder width stance with the insides of the feet parallel and release the knees and allow the whole lower pelvis to drop towards the ground, we're lowering our centre of gravity, and that will already help the breath to go down. The second thing we want to do is to open up and widen the upper back. So we slide the shoulder blades away from each other and we open the armpits, and we keep the upper back spread open like that by taking the arms a bit in front of the body. And then in the front, we simply relax the chest. Any lifting of the chest, any thrusting of the chest, any conscious expansion of the ribs will actually prevent the breath going down. So we take the arms forward and then we can turn them in so the palms are facing the centre of the belly, and we can mentally connect from the palms to deep inside the belly, and that's where we want to take the breath to. So we want to breathe in through the nose and have the feeling the breath goes all the way down and feels deep inside here. So let's just practice a little bit and I'll explain a bit more. So in your own time, never forcing the breath, soft, easy, comfortable, natural. See if you can get the feeling that the breath goes all the way down. Please continue this whilst I explain a little bit more. So the largest potential area of expansion of the lungs is downwards. And the lower part of the lungs is the best supplied with blood vessels. So when we breathe deep into the lower part of the lungs, we get better oxygenation. So if you're not used to lower abdominal breathing, it may be at the beginning that you feel the breath can't get down there. You feel maybe it gets stuck in the upper chest or in the middle of the chest. So that's quite normal at the beginning, and it's just a question of practice, and we mustn't ever force it. So we can slow the breath down, but in a very natural way. We don't try and hold our breath, just slowly relaxing, slowly deepening the breath, and that will naturally slow it down. So if you find it comfortable, this is the kind of speed you might aim for, but go at your own pace if this is not appropriate. So breathing in, and out. In and out. In and out. In and out. A variation or a development from this, if we make loose fists and just rest them on the soft tissue at the centre of the back, feel how comforting, even nourishing that might feel. So we can just stay with that a moment. Okay, so this time let's imagine we're breathing in through the navel. Imagine our nose is on the navel. We take the breath deep into the core and it extends, it reaches to the lower back, and the lower back feels like as though the lungs are in the lower back, feels as we breathe in. And releases back as we breathe out. Okay, so we can practice this lower abdominal breathing for as long as we like and as often as we like, as long as we never force it. Apart from strengthening the lung and helping take the breath down, it has all kinds of really beneficial effects on our mental state, relaxing us, putting us into a healing, relaxed, parasympathetic state. Okay, so part two, a couple of movements we can do to help the lung function. So if we bring the arms in front of the thighs, and once again, we really drop the pelvis and sacrum, the triangular bone at the base of the spine. Allow that to drop and drop and drop. That helps lower the centre of gravity, helps keep the breath going down. Whilst we slightly tuck the chin down and softly lengthen up through the neck and the head. Okay, and then we're going to lengthen through the body like this, and that lengthening is going to bring the arms up to shoulder height, there, and then we turn and the palms face each other. We might be helpful to feel a kind of connection between the palms, and we try and keep that awareness between the palms as we now extend it out. The important thing is to keep the arms well in front of the body and keep the palms facing each other. And open and open and open, but not to the point of tension. We stop just before it would require tension to open more. And notice if we bring the elbows and the arms back, the upper back closes, the chest thrusts forward. So we want to keep the arms well in front of the body. Feel the palms still connected. Close and turn. So the slower breathing is to breathe in and in and out and out. If you have trouble with slow breathing, you can double it up. You can breathe in and out and in and out. And a reminder, the slow breathing is in and in and out, and out. And all the time we're trying to continue with lower abdominal breathing. This movement comes from a Qigong series called Tai Chi 18 Qigong, and its name is broadening the chest. So if we just stop here at the moment, let's feel a widening across the top of the chest at the same time as we feel a widening across the top of the back. So the tips of the shoulders are actually going that way, widening the top of the front and the top of the back. Closing up and releasing down. 3 more times. Okay, so that movement can be practiced for as long as you like, as many repetitions as you like, and as often as you like. So now one more movement. This is actually taken from a different Qigong style, and it's the movement for the crane, the bird, the giant bird, which is associated with the lung. So here we take the arms forward, and then we do what's called wrapping. So it means we rotate the arms and we bring the backs of the hands together. So when we do this, you'll feel a real spreading through in the upper back. So the lung, as far as Chinese medicine is concerned, or specifically acupuncture, we can stimulate the lung through needling points in the middle of the upper back. So this opens that part of the back and already stimulates the lung. And we drop the center of gravity. We use the pointed down hands to help the body drop. And then we're going to lengthen up through the body as the arms come up, holding that wrap. And now they open up to the sky. And we close and release down again. So we breathe in. If this speed is too slow for you, go at your own speed or add bits of breath when you need it. Breathing in. Okay, so let's just check a few points. First of all, structure. So when we open up here, let's check first of all, the centre of gravity is still dropped, so the pelvis and the sacrum still dropping into the ground. And shoulder blades are dropped and the shoulders are dropped. We don't want to bring the shoulders up to the ears. Check that the arms are well in front of the body, so we have a nice smooth curve through the arms and the back. Check that the palms of the hands are open and at least mentally connected up to the sky. And what we're also doing here is lengthening and opening the lung meridian or the lung channel, as far as acupuncture is concerned. So the lung channel emerges from the lung in this hollow here. We call this shoulder's nest, just this side of the shoulder, and it travels along the arm there, so on the outside of the big tendon here, down through here to the wrist there, and into the thumb and into the index finger. So we have the feeling that we have to relax the shoulder and elastically and softly lengthen through the lung meridian, and particularly have the thumb and index finger alert and wide and open. And by keeping the arms in front of the body, the upper back is open too. So, breathing out. In. And once again, you can practice this movement as many times as feels right and as often as feels right. But if you're not familiar with Qigong, do come back to the video several times to check that you're doing it as well as possible, and then you won't need the video anymore. We start by rubbing the hands together vigorously to get them warm, to wake them up, to increase the aliveness in the hands. Then we're going to identify shoulder's nest, which is the hollow close to the shoulder, and we're going to slap it fairly hard, repetitively, to really stimulate it. That's where the lung channel emerges from the lung. And then we slap down the lung channel of the arm all the way to the thumb, back up the index finger and back up the outside of the arm. And we'll repeat that 3 times. We change sides, slapping quite hard, slapping the arm hard enough to produce a little bit of redness. And then we slap the chest. We can slap the ribs on the side, slap all around the chest. Men can slap any part of the chest. Women should slap above and below the breasts and in between the breasts. That's quite an important area on the front there. Again, with quite vigorous pressure. So the whole area feels stimulated and wakened up. And then we can finish by more softly rubbing down the lung channel and back up again 3 times each side. Thanks for watching. I sincerely hope that this video is useful to you. If you want to gain the maximum benefit from it, practice it really regularly, practice it every day if you can, and maybe it will stimulate you to take up Qigong practice if you haven't already done so. Please stay safe and healthy.